Hi there, it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com with match number 4 with our 8 rack. Guess we'd like to play first. This is on the verge of being keepable. We kind of have this dead card with the Gatekeeper that we're not going to be able to cast for quite a while. But it does have a rack and a Disfigure, Funeral Charm, and a Disfigure. Against a creature-based deck, we're pretty decent here. So we'll lead off with the rack. And then pass. Hopefully we go up against a deck that does not contain the color blue. And it looks like a Raging Ravine, which is most likely Jund. It could be Naya as well. But Jund is the typical deck that uses the Ravine. We get our second black source, which is great. We need one more black source for Gatekeeper Malakir. But if he tries to put out like a Confidant, Dark Confidant here, we'll kill it with a Disfigure. We have a Tech Edge to take care of either one of these cards. So it's a Goyf, which we'll Disfigure. Could have actually just waited for another black source to mate with Gatekeeper to make him sack it. And there it is. So I still think we throw out the Tech Edge. We do need him to... Lily's actually quite weak for him. I'm surprised he's playing Lily because Lily's actually as good for me as it is for him. Let's take out a Disfigure. And he does have the Terminate. I mean, the Liliana will be rough for me to, if he does get up to 6. So I need to draw like a Mutavault. Shrieking Affliction's fine if I can get down that far. I think I want to keep some cards in my hand for the Lily. And this kind of puts him on edge. Yeah, I think that... We need to draw into like a Wrench Mine to get him down. And the good news is the rat can deal damage, though. So here I think I will discard the Swamp. Well, at this point, the Malakir. Yeah, Gatekeeper Malakir's fine to discard. It's another land. It's an Overgrown Tomb. Goes down to 3 cards. So if we can get him down to that 2, there's the Tarmogoyf. Which now I'm wishing I would have... we'll kill the Raging Ravine with the Tectonic Edge. Cuts out his red source. And he could just leave Liliana on 5. The rack, I can do some damage to Liliana. But I think it's not that big of an issue. Smother was the perfect draw. And so we'll Smother is... Funeral Charm can make him discard. Yeah, I think we'll just Funeral Charm right now. And it's Abrupt Decay. That's huge. So I should be able to redirect this to Lily. Just to keep it off that. Separate. You know, Abrupt Decay with Shrieking Affliction, I think the rack's actually better. So, Affliction dies. That does make his Goyf bigger, but we have the Smother. And now, yeah, since he played that land, we can do another damage to Lily. I don't think we care about Lily at the moment. He's out of Abrupt Decays. Funeral Charm makes him discard a card at the beginning of his upkeep. Lily's down to a 1 counter. Now I'm not going to worry about Lily for quite a while. And another Goyf. There's 3 Goyfs to the bin. Yeah, he'll just activate Liliana. Maybe we will kill Liliana. It depends on what we draw here. No, I think we just start going to the face with Rax. Lily's so far away from ulting. And that's game. So here is a game we probably want to bring in. The Spell Bombs. The Verdicts are just better against the... Yeah, I'm gonna bring in Spell Bombs and Leyline the Void. Possibly Surgical Extraction because it can get rid of like a Kolaghan command target. I think Brain Maggots are actually weak in this one. Sun Droplet is one of those cards that can keep us in the game with, like, Goyf is, we have to kill Goyf, and that's where the Geth's Verdicts are very good, and the Victim of the Night is very good. Smother, all of them can kill it. We probably don't need Disfigures. Like, there is a thing called Dark Confidant, but I don't know if it's quite a card we need to worry about. Cranial Extraction can get rid of like an Outpost Siege if he brings an Outpost Siege, because he needs to get card advantage. And it also can get rid of Abrupt Decays. But Surgical Extraction can also get rid of Abrupt Decays, gone for good. I'm thinking the Sun Droplet might be the right card, and we'll just bring in 1 Surgical. It's just weird to bring in Surgicals with Leyline. Yeah, I don't even know if that's the right line of play. This is an okay hand. Again, we got a Rack and a Shrieking Affliction, so First Inquisition is very weak. And the Edge, Tectonic Edge takes care of the Raging Ravine, which is why we put him in here. So I will just first turn Shrieking Affliction. We do need a lot of black sources. This will make a Goyf actually. Dark Confidant. Okay, Dark Confidant is something we can Funeral Charm. And it is a card we absolutely have to kill. There's a Cranial Extraction for the... I'm still thinking Abrupt Decay is the right one to kill. And we'll get rid of that Confidant. We need those black sources for both the Gatekeeper Malakir another Dark Confidant, which we can Funeral Charm that as well. Mutavault is okay. I'd rather have another card, of course. Another black source. But it does make us closer to Cranial Extraction, so we'll kill another Dark Confidant. And at this point, I don't know if I do Tech Edge away as Raging Ravine if he plays a land. Yeah, we will now for sure. That is going to be a hard card to deal with. He still has 3 cards in hand. Need to draw Runner, Black. Like, and a Black Source would be great here. Raven's Crime's fine. It's at least going to do a damage to him. But it's very pitiful we find that source. Black source. There it is. All right, not bad. Could have Raven's Crime, but it's just going to be Wrench Mind here. Abrupt Decay and a Lightning Bolt. Those are both very powerful cards. This will do 5 damage to him, so we are actually head on the race. And he's just going to go the route of Tarmogoyf, which a Smother or a Black Source gets us back. We'll cast another Rack. And at least Mutavault him. So at least it does 2 damage to him. He's down to a 9. We will be down to an 8. And now Spellbomb actually gets rid of his graveyard too. So we have a ton of outs. Smothers, Geth's Verdicts, a Swamp, Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth. Uh-oh. Disfigure, though. Yeah, that's a tough card. Wrench Mind, though, is pretty good. Yeah, Wrench Mind's actually excellent. No, we can't do a Wrench Mind. Uh-oh. Because we have to actually block a Disfigure. And we want to do that by Mutavault or Gatekeeper. So put him down to a 7. Wait, if I Wrench Mind, is he just dead? Oh, geez, I just almost lost, because he take 9, 3, 6, 9. He takes 9 here. Yeah, we win. Unless he has an artifact. Vern Catacombs to 3, 6, 9. Exactly 9 damage. Boom. He has no way to activate the Disfigure. Woo! Pulled that off. I'm glad I caught that at the last minute. I was thinking that we were 1 point of damage short. But yeah. Yep. Anywho. Pretty solid showing. We'll go on to the wrap-up video. This is Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching. Hi there, it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com with a wrap-up video with our Playing on a Budget 8-rack deck. I was very impressed with this deck. Our little $150 budget deck was able to compete very well with expensive Jund and Grixis builds. I think that those two decks are the most expensive. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Jund is the most expensive deck in the format at the moment, and Grixis I think is right there at number 2. Might not be the way that our opponent built it. I think the Delver list is a little more inexpensive than some of the other Grixis builds, but those decks get very expensive with the fetch lands and the shock lands, and we performed very, very well with the deck. So the few changes I would make is probably cut the Brain Maggots. I don't think they quite work in this list. These want to be Lilianas, most likely, or what I was thinking of is probably just like Sign-in Bloods. And this will allow you to fill back up your hand. Or what I like Sign-in Blood over Night Whisper. A ton of people like Night Whisper because you can cast it off of Mutavault or Tectonic Edge rather than have to have the double black for Sign-in Blood. But Sign-in Blood can be used to make your opponent lose 2 life as well. So if you get your opponent down to really low life, down to 2, you can actually use Sign-in Blood as the kill condition. So that's probably the one major change. I thought Gatekeeper of Malakir was amazing. This card continued to perform very well. I think this deck does want another Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth over another Swamp, though. Because you can't always Raven's Crime away the additional Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth if you have double of them in your hand. And we did have like Mutavault's Tectonic Edges that wanted to tap for black for the Gatekeeper Malakir. So I'm thinking that double Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth is the right route. The Victim of Nights were good, except Angler is a zombie. That is a new addition. Usually Victim of the Night did take care of everything in the format, but now with the Angler, Victim could end up being replaced for Go for the Throat. I still think Affinity is worthwhile to run Victim, and Go for the Throat's a little bit easier on your mana base. We still have ways to get rid of the angler with cards like Geth's Verdict and Gatekeeper. I still think that Geth's Verdict and Gatekeeper are amazing. If in your metagame you have a lot of Boggles and Infect, another great card is Self-Inflicted Wound, which is another way to make them sacrifice their Boggle. Target opponent sacrifices a green or white creature. If that player does, he or she loses 2 life. This is also one of the cards that really I like to play Mardu Burn over both Jund or Naya Burn, because it does give us access to the Self-Inflicted Wound, and Boggles can be one of those matchups it's hard for Burn to win, and it's a very, very hard matchup for this deck to win unless you can hit a well-timed Geth's Verdict or Gatekeeper Malakir, and that's why the other two are in the sideboard. We didn't get to see some of our worst matchups, which are like Lingering Souls type decks, and that's specifically why like Illness of the Ranks are in here. You have to have ways to deal with it. So overall, I think the sideboard is very customizable based on your metagame. I think this is a very decent sideboard. There is other cards like Damping Matrix that wouldn't be too bad to put in the deck. You could run more Cranial Extractions. You could even go Thoughtseize if you wanted to, if you're really worried about, want to be more proactive and get rid of specific key cards against your opponent. But this deck tends not to care really about Thoughtseize or Inquisition, because as we stated earlier, you're going to get rid of their entire hand quite quickly with Funeral Charms and Raven Crimes and whatnot. So, anywho, I think we're going to be playing this other 8-rack version. Now that actually playing this a little bit more, I think that a Black Cat's better than a Brain Maggot. So, we'll be looking forward to this version for our upgraded list. And why I like Black Cat in this list is you can end up Kolaghan's Commanded or Lightning Bolting it, or even using a Gatekeeper on yourself to make your opponent discard a card at random. So what's really cool about this card is that you can do this instant speed with a Lightning Bolt. I mean, Lightning Bolts and Funeral Charms. Well, Funeral Charms you're not going to use on your own Black Cat, but the Lightning Bolt, sometimes you just don't want to hit them with it. You need them to discard a card. You can actually hit your own Black Cat, which I don't think that's too much of an issue in the deck. If they have 2 cards in hand, you can go Kolaghan's Command and hit and 2 damage to your Black Cat, because you need these racks. You need the racks and the Shrieking Afflictions to do their job. And so if we have to terminate or Lightning Bolt instant speed a Black Cat and get rid of a card out of their hand, I think that's absolutely worth it. And then Kolaghan's Command can actually get back a Black Cat. So there might be a better, maybe if I scour the Modern, there might be a better card than Black Cat. I'll have to check and see. But discarding card at random is also pretty good. And we do want some more ways to discard a card. And that one of the cool things about Black Cat or the Brain Maggot before is it tends to actually eat a removal spell. Black Cat won't eat a removal spell like Brain Maggot will, but it will at least block and actually deter them from really attacking in with a card. We'll have to test this out to see if it works, but so far so good. Still, I'm sold on the Gatekeeper of Malakirs. Might want to go back into 4 of in this list, but this list we won't talk about much more. I'll try to play that soon. So I'm going to pick up another Urborg to Yawgmoth and actually play this. I'm going to actually play this at my Modern FNM and see how well it does. And I hope you enjoyed this list. It's a great introduction budget deck that can be put together for very inexpensive, especially if you don't go the Mutavault route. Anyway, this has been Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching.